Alright, Meat Crew. Welcome to Kittenz Anime Review, a possible new series that will probably only have one episode. Today, we will be reviewing Jujutsu Kaisen. So I'm going to try my best to avoid spoilers in this video because I want you guys to watch this, obviously. Now, with that out of the way, let's start the review. So the first thing, the most important thing in an anime, really, the animation. Let me just say, the animation in this show is, top-notch. It's insane. Right? Every single frame is a work of art, and it's so smooth. I don't know, it's just some of the best animation I've seen in anime, ever. And I've seen a lot of anime. So yeah, and animation is really impressive in this show. Definitely recommend. Just look at this for a second, alright? Look at how incredible this is. This isn't a spoiler, by the way, but just look at it. It's great. So, animation, 10 out of 10. Now, on to the second thing, characters. So Jujutsu Kaisen has a really massive cast of characters. It's honestly sort of similar to Naruto in that respect, but none of the side characters are pointless or discarded like Naruto's are. Sorry, getting a bit off topic. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen has very great characters. They're entertaining, specifically, let me highlight Gojo and Sukuna. Whenever they're on screen, you really want to keep watching. All the characters are good. Our main character, Itadori, is entertaining. Fushiguro is entertaining, so is Nobara. Honestly, all the characters are just fun and, just good characters. So, yeah. Watch the show for the characters if you'd like. Yeah, before I forget, the series has great villains, too. There's nowhere in the story where you're, bored with the villains. They're all very, honestly, they're a bit scary. You don't know what's going to happen to our characters when you got villains around because they're actually threatening. They can actually win fights sometimes. It's nice. All right, it's refreshing to see some actual good villains. And let me just tell you, most of these villains are just villains for the sake of being villains, which is just great. There's no tragic backstory. Some of them are just evil. Specifically, let's highlight Mahito. So Mahito is just a great villain because not only is he, just evil and a terrible person who you really want to lose, he's a parallel to our main character because he evolves and grows throughout the series, even in the anime so far as we've seen, just like Yuji, which makes him a great antagonist. Helps he's an asshole, so you really, really want to see him lose. Yeah, so great villain. He's terrifying. You really don't know what he's going to do when he's on screen, and it's great. So yeah, characters also a 10 out of 10. Next up, the voice acting. So, in some ways this is just as important as animation because, we absorb a lot of audio. And if the voice acting is not up to par, the anime just won't be either. However, fortunately for us, Jujutsu Kaisen's voice acting is top-notch as well. So yeah, you guessed it. Voice acting, also a 10 out of 10. Now, for the plot. Without spoiling anything, the plot is fairly simple. There's no crazy plot twists or anything like that. It's just a pretty straightforward shonen sort of plot. You get your training, you get to see cool fights, but it's not completely without emotion either, so I can't really talk too much about the plot without spoiling it, but I think I think you'll enjoy it if you enjoy typical shonen stuff. But let's just say, the plot here is a little bit darker than your typical shonen, and I think that plays to its strengths quite a bit, so if you enjoy a sort of more serious tone to things, I think you'll really like this show. So yeah, the plot, it gets us where we need to be, and it makes sense. Not much more that you can expect from an anime like this, so 10 out of 10. So, the last thing that I think this anime does really well is its music. I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna play a little bit of the soundtrack, and, I bet you'll love it, alright? music is one of the more subtle things in an anime that a lot of people don't notice if it's not that great. But music adds a lot to a scene. It's very important. So yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen hits the nail on the head with the music. So 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's what I've got to say about Jujutsu Kaisen without spoiling anything. Very good anime. I recommend it. Check it out. Even if you're not that into anime, I think it's definitely worth checking out. So, yep, that's all for today's anime review. There probably won't be another one, but you never know. So, Kittenz out.